Okay, let's see if this is working. Okay, what do we have today? Alright, solving questions with Brainpower. You're given a zero index 2D integer array questions where questions of I is a tuple that is points in Brainpower, or two element array that's points in Brainpower. Okay, so each question has some number of points in Brainpower cost to it, probably. The array describes the questions of an exam where you have to process in order the questions in order starting from question 0 and make a decision whether to solve or skip. Solving the ith question will earn you the ith point, or some number of points, and you will be unable to solve each of the next Brainpower questions. If you skip questions of the ith question, you get to make the decision on the next question. Man, oh god, this is gonna be another dynamic programming one. Okay. For example, given questions 3, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, and 2, 5, if question 0 is solved, you earn 3 points, but you'll be unable to skipped. And if questions 1 is solved, you will earn you earn 4 points because you're unable to solve questions 2 and 3. Return the maximum points you can. Okay, so there's 3 points. For the first question is 3 points, cost Brainpower is 2. Second one is 4 points, the cost is 3 Brainpower. 4 points, the cost is 4 Brainpower, and 2 points, the cost is 5 Brainpower. And your output should be solve each of the next Brainpower questions. So the maximum points could be earned by solving question 0, earning 3 points, skipping the next 2, and then earning another 2 points on the last question. Okay. And then here, looks like you can earn maybe 2 points on the second question, skip the next 2, and earn 5 points. Otherwise, you could earn 1 point on the first question, skip the next one, earn 3 points, and then do nothing. And if you did one of the later ones, then you skip all the other ones. Okay, so it's 2 plus 5. Okay. So for this one, there's going to be some answer number, and n is going to be the length of questions. And so dynamic programming. So each Brainpower can cost up to 10 to the 5th. And there's 10 to the 5th questions. Maybe it's not right dynamic programming. Questions length is 2, yeah. So what can we do here? If you choose to earn something, then you can skip the next 2. Or could this be like backtracking? So if I choose to earn on the first question, I can skip the next 2. Alternatively, I can choose to not earn on that question, and then yeah, I think this is dynamic programming. Okay. So what is the connection between previous values and next values? So for any question, the number of points I can get for any particular question, the number of points I can get in total by that question is that the points on that question plus yeah, so plus the number of points I could earn previously up to that point. Okay, so let's say this is 0 times n plus 1 questions. And then I can say that for so for each question n, the points and the cost is equal to the questions at that index. This should be called index. Right, question index. And I can say that the number of points I can get up to another later question. So say the next Q index is going to be the current Q index plus the cost. But it could be that or any later one. It could be that or any later one. Okay. So I can say that the current points is equal to what I have in my DP array here. I think this should be 1 to n plus 1 maybe here, or what's in the previous one. Max of the current one and the previous one. Q index minus 1. Okay, so if I had gone to a previous spot and gotten some number of points, I could have like skipped a question to get to the current spot with that same number of points. Okay, points. Okay, so the next Q index is that, and I can say that the best number of points for the next question index is equal to the max of whatever is currently there, or the current points plus the points for this question. Assuming that this next question is actually within the range of questions. So if next Q index is greater than n plus 1, greater than n, next Q index is greater than n, then the next Q index should just be equal to n. Yeah. That's just the final value. And that satisfies that thing. Okay. And like doesn't go out of bounds. So dp of the next Q index is that, and I think that might just work. Okay, I'll just print out what my dp array is each time, and I'll return 0. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll just return 0. Next Q index. Oops, order of operations, calculation before evaluation. Out of range. It's n plus 1. The biggest one here would be n. Greater than or equal to n. If next Q index is greater than n, it's equal to n, then let's go and print out the next Q index. What? Why would this be out of bounds? So the next Q index is 4, 0, 1, 2. So there's 4 questions. I should have made it 5 length. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be n plus 2. It's kind of odd. Oh. Oh shoot. Okay. Not equals n. It's just x Q index is equal to n. Okay, out of bounds. So Q index, current points, questions at the Q index. Actually, I think maybe this should be Q index minus 1. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if this worked. So after evaluating the first one, the number of points should be 3, and I should be assigning it into 0, skipping 2, so getting to there is 3, okay. And then 4, skipping 3, so getting there's 4. And then 4, skipping 3. Oh, why is this adding? Current points should be not 4 plus 3. Okay, let's go and print out the current points. So ideally, so the current points is 0, current points is 0, current points is 3. Okay, my indexing is just horrible here. Okay, so what do I expect to happen? Expect to have for each pass, so it's 3, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, and 2, 5. So what should my array be? My array after the first one should be 0 points up to question 0, 0 points up to question 1, 0 points for question 2, and then you can start with question 3 with 3 points. Okay, so that's right. I think there should be another 0 here. There should be starting question 3, starting question 4, and then question 5, or like the ending one. So I think this should be n plus 2, and if the next q index is greater than n, this should be n plus 1. Yeah. All right. Do do do. All right. So that's okay. And then if I just skip the first one, first question, did the second question, then the best I can do would be, yeah, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3. Okay, yeah. And then if I skip the first two questions, then the best thing I can start with on the third one should be, okay, so that should be, it shouldn't be looking at 3 at that point. It should be looking at 0. So for the question index starts with 1. Okay, this is, okay. Question index should start with 0. And this should go to n, because there's n questions. Okay. So the question index I'm confusing with the DP index. So the current point is up to that question index. Although, okay, this is just wrong logic here. Okay, this is going to look a little weird, but I'm actually just going to do this, even though if it's 0, it's out of bounds, but it's out of bounds in the negative direction, so it goes to the back of the front, to the back of the array, which is still 0. So the current point there is 0. Okay, that actually now works. I think now I actually can make this into n plus 1 like I thought it should be. Okay, so that's better. Okay, so the first question here is, no, whoops, this should now be back to question index. Okay, so the first question starts with 0. You need to add 2 to it, and you can start question, you start with question 0 with 0 points. So then this is question index. After you do question 1, start with question 0 with 0 points. You should be starting question 0, 1, 2, 3. You should be starting question 3 with 3 points. So you're skipping the current question, where the current question is this Q index. So the next Q index I think might be plus 1 here, because Q index currently plus the cost. Okay. Yeah, you start question 3 with 3 points, 4. Okay, so that ending is correct. Okay, that ending is correct. Okay, excellent. and you just return the last element of your array. Okay, what's the issue for this one? Alright, print out my DP, and I guess I should print out what the question and what the question is for this one. Key index. Alright, so first one, I can get 21, 5 points, or 21 points, 5 questions later on. So 0, skip, skip, so skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, skip 4, skip 5, 21 points. 93, I can skip 3, so skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, 92 points. Okay. 74, starting with this one, so skip 2. 92 points is still the best. Starting here, skipping 4, getting 39 points, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 39 points. Starting here, skipping 2, getting 58 points. Skip, skip, 58. Starting here with 92, skipping 5, so I can end with 97, sure. Starting here with 21, skipping 4. 21, skipping 4. How did I get 141? Somehow I added the 97 plus the 49. No, how'd this get? 21, skipping 4, and getting 141. 141, 97 is 40, 43. Oh. Current points. Oh. So what I had was I did 92, and then I didn't do the 50. I had 92, and I took that and the previous one. So instead of 21, I was using 92. And 92 plus 49 is 141. Is that possible? If I do 92, and 92 had the option of doing 58, but I skipped that question, then I would have 92 here. Is that right? So how did I get yeah, okay. I must have done that. Oh, okay, I see. I need to actually update my array if that's the case. So dp of the current index is equal to that updated total, because it doesn't transfer later on otherwise. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. Seriously? How is this? Okay. How could I improve this? Return the maximum points earned. I guess I am using a lot of checks here. can I do without the maximum? So can I do without the maximum? I guess it has to be something where if next q index is greater than n, next q index equals n, dp of whatever is currently there and current points. And this seems so fast. This is definitely linear. So it's just the number of operations within this for loop. Okay, so what if so you transfer your current value to your next value. So can I just say the current points here transfers to the next points and not have to do this maximum? I think so, right? No, that's not true. Like, there could already be something in the next one that's bigger than this current one. So, current points. I can take the max of the I could do something where dp of the next index equals, just set equals to the max of the current one, maximum of q index plus 1 equals max of this one and what's currently there. And dp of q index plus 1. And I don't have these two statements, so just do a forward calculation. Okay, I guess I can do this like, so the current points is dp of the current index. That transfers that way. That's just the same. There's just no way that that's any faster. I could do, rather than q index and n, I could do enumerate q index and, or is it enumerate? What is enumerate? Tuple list. Index, okay. Index and then tuple. So q index and then the tuple will be points cost and enumerate of your questions. I don't know if this works because it's an actually array. Yeah. I wonder if use that syntax. Don't think that works either. Alright, fine. Q index Q, and then points cost equals Q. dp of the Q index, current points. Did you mean points? Oh, this is the other way around. Current points equals dp of this index. All right, did that go any faster? Not it. Yep, got exact same speed. dp of q index plus 1. At least this change works. I guess maybe this is slightly easier logic. So you transfer the current points to the next question, assuming that you skip. And then the next question index, if you do the question, is going to be that. And then if that's too big, then you set it to be just n. I think the syntax is like if you do this is greater than n, then you do. No, that's just bad. And then dp of q index, next q index is maximum that's currently there plus points. Man, how do you make this more efficient? What? Current points plus points. I mean, you could get rid of this calculation here and just say but somehow these guys got it down to like 36 milliseconds. That's like 3 times faster. Points Q. So for every Q index, current points is what you currently have in your array. Can you store that? No, I think you have to have an array. You can't have just a single variable because the variable needs to capture multiple possible future values. And then, is that true? I think that's true. And then if you have dp of q index plus 1, current points. So you skip this question. You skip this question. Like, sure, you skip this question. So you transfer the current number of points to the next number of points. And then your next index is that. Alright, I think. Alright, let's look at. Is there any hints here? Okay, dynamic programming. Store maximum points. Same for next question. Solve a question, the answer for it 3 points on the current question plus, okay, sure. Yeah. Maximum 2 values will answer the current. Yep. Okay, so I think maybe. All right, let's look up what the answer, how faster it is. They have one maximum. They're going in reverse order rather than forward order. Is that true? Yeah, I think they are. The next index. How did they go? Next index is bigger number, but they're going in reverse order. dp of next index is if else. Skip is do dp of I plus 1. Take the best. Solve dp of 0. Okay, I mean, there's one maximum calculation here. There's one if statement. So they saved on one maximum calculation, I think. So can I save on a maximum calculation? So current points. Like how do they not transfer dp of I plus 1? So you can skip it or you can solve it. And you always use Brainpower. dp of I is the skipping of the previous or solving this question. dp of I is either skipping or solving the question. So your number of current points you get by getting here from a solving or getting here from a skipping. I wonder. So the next Q index. Yeah, I think fundamentally this is just a different approach in terms of how you do that current point calculation. I don't think I can modify this thing to include that, because this thing is always going to go fill in the next one, skipping over a bunch of possible lower values and not really changing the later values. And you only get to a certain value. So this thing does require you have two different maximum calculations. Can you somehow dp of the next index? Can you somehow transfer your current points without having to do the maximum calculation? So if you have the highest up to a certain point, if you have the highest up to a certain point, and then you add, this has to be a maximum here. Skip a bunch, get to another question. There could have been a previous one that skipped a bunch to get to the same question, so you need to have the maximum there. Here, your current points, you need to look at the previous one because you don't necessarily change the later ones after that. Alright, well, sometimes it is what it is. Alright, cool beans. Go up to a month.